Good morning, my friends. I am going to discuss the Igbo patrilineal tradition and the Jewish matrilineal tradition. To flesh things out a bit, in the world today, if anybody has an Igbo father, that person is an Igbo. While for you to be a Jew, you have to demonstrate that your mother is a Jew. For a very long time, these facts that I just mentioned posed a problem to some scholars who were interested in knowing how two peoples with such divergent traditions could emanate from the same origin. Interestingly, the Jews never said that they were not originally patrilineal, because anybody couldn't say that they were not originally patrilineal, because from the very first sections of the Hebrew Bible to the very end, it was always son of Abraham, sons of Isaac, sons of Israel, and it remained patrilineal. But at a stage, the custom among the Jews became that for you to prove that you are a Jew, you have to prove that your mother is Jewish. I did not bend my mind to this because I was engaged in some other matters of even more importance. And before I proceed, I will say why I believe that the matter I have been involved in is even more important. The Israelites, it was a tug of war, it was a struggle to remove them from Egypt. Left to the Israelites, if you remove the positions of God and Moses, it's doubtful if the Israelites would have left Egypt because they had grown accustomed to suffering. The Igbo people are in a similar position today. Some Igbos have grown accustomed to identifying themselves as Africans, even though there is no ethnic group called Africans. Nobody is an African. I see the African existing only in the minds of some ill-educated Igbo people. The Yoruba person doesn't see himself as an African, he sees himself as a Yoruba. The Fulani person sees himself as a Fulani person. It's only the Igbo person that thinks he's an African. And of course we know why. The culturing. The British Empire took away the Igbo culture. And a person without a culture is like a person with HIV/AIDS. So, because of this problem of having lost culture and then clinging on to anything, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to get the Igbo to acknowledge, to get all Igbos, because a great majority know who they are and they accept it. They own it. They know that they are Israelites. But there is a small minority, very noisy, that will dress like clowns and begin to talk nonsense. And with social media, making it easy for everybody to publish, this tiny minority, less than 200 persons in all, are confusing others today. So because of this confusion in the society, I devoted 99% of my time to writing 20 books that nobody till tomorrow has refuted even a line of anything found in the books. And what's found in the books is that the Igbos are lineal descendants of the Israelites. Interestingly, Jews themselves have begun to acknowledge this. The Obadiah Alliance is headed by a lawyer, a rabbi with a PhD. They gave a profound ruling in 2022 that the Igbo people are lineal descendants of the biblical Israelites. The fact that Jews and the Igbos could really intermarry. It's a Sephardic Jewish Bedin. So, but we have some Igbos who have become inured in Afrocentrism when they are not seeing themselves as Nigerians, unlike the Yoruba and the Fulani who have actually controlled Nigeria. They see themselves as Africans and they pollute the water. So, in order to make sure that they don't destroy us, I've written vociferously and have not given enough attention to this issue of matrilineality and patrilineality. And I'm going to talk about it now because fortunately, somebody has reduced my burdens by tackling them. Micaiah Ilona Perry, a former graduate of Brandeis University. I don't know if you know the great Brandeis University. It's an American university started in honor or named in honor of a renowned American judge called Brandeis. This young man, Micaiah Ilona Perry, took out time to examine both the Igbo and the Jewish traditions. And he found that even though the Igbo people are patrilineal, I am a son of Joseph Ilona. Joseph Ilona is a son of Ezofido. Ezofido is a son of Ezanyezu, and so on and so forth, up to Abraham. He found that there is also a very strong connection to matrilineality in the Igbo culture through what we call Ikunne, kindred of the mothers. So as an Igbo person, you belong to your father and his lineage, but your mother also, you are also strongly connected to your mother. One of my right-hand men, More Black Chim Madike, a musician, came from a community in Imo State. The mother came from a community in Anambra. Both communities have a hold on him. He is a son of the community in Imo, and in a very strong way, he's also a son of the community in Anambra. And this way, Ilona Perry solved this problem. So the Jews, by the way, they are also to some extent afflicted by this problem the Igbos have. A good number of people in the Jewish community have grown used to identifying themselves as whites, and this has impeded the great efforts that people like Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Dr. Michael Okpara, Golda Meir made in stitching the Igbo and the Jewish peoples together. This notion that we are a white people, which certainly I don't even think that anybody in the world is white, and the Jews are certainly not a white people. By their culture, they're Levantine. If they are not as Levantine as the Igbos, they would not engage in practices like sitting Shiva, mourning the evil person, somebody who did extremely bad things, mourning him while he's alive. This was done for Josephus, the great Jewish historian that went over to the Romans. By the way, ndị Igbo na-akwa mmadụ na ndụ. I will repeat what I said in Igbo in English. If an Igbo does atrocious things, if an Igbo commits abomination, the Igbos mourn him alive. A Jew that became Christian in New York after the Second World War, his family sat Shiva for him. If the Jews are not Levantine in culture, they wouldn't know this tradition. They would not practice this tradition that Igbos practice. At the same time, the Ashkenazi Jews, if one of them commits suicide, they don't bury him where his peers are buried. Of course, we know that this is Igbo tradition. If you are not satisfied with hearing it from me, go to Things Fall Apart. The hero of the book, Okonkwo, haunted and haunted by the British, took his life. He was not given a regular burial, but this is the Igbo tradition up till date. So, to land Nikaya, I'm urging you, I'm encouraging you, I'm congratulating you for the great work you have done. You have only written your name in gold because this is the emerging field of Israelite studies. Professor Nwezi Igwe predicted this after reading the book of Daniel. He wrote a compendium of well-crafted, incisive analysis of the historicity of the Jewish theory of Igbo origins. The work opens up a new vista in the emerging globalization of Igbo studies. Thus, Daniel Lees, by this work, has proved that the study of the Jews as a distinct people cannot be complete without the further insight into the Igbo question. I buy what Professor Nwezi Igwe said 100%. The only thing I will add is Israelite studies. Because the Igbos are not Jews. The Jews are not Igbos, but the Igbos and the Jews are Israelites. Also, I wouldn't fail to mention that the Hakam, the rabbi that shared the group that gave the ruling about the Igbos, that acknowledged that it's a scandal to even deny that the Igbos came from Israel. We are awaiting some articles he has written recently. Because as long as we don't engage in studies like this, the nation of Israel stands diminished. And on this note, on this Sunday, the 30th day of June, 2024, I tell all the people of Israel, be strong under Chiukwu. Chiukwu means great God, that God that thundered, roared from Mount Sinai. Have a beautiful week, my brothers and sisters. Shalom.